Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Captain Moses speaking. Yeah, for your information for today, I decided to make a Airbus 380 normal posture tutorial video to delegate for my colleagues and to those people who are preparing for a type rating course or on the training for Airbus 380. At the same time, it will benefit those amateur flight simulation players, those playing at home. So today I prepare Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and Airbus 380 developed by fly-by-wire developer. So we'll start from the very beginning. So I'm using the Airbus 380 manual for FCOM, and I'll be basing from the task sharing on the FCOM procedure, normal procedure, and then task sharing. So first, of course, prior to we arrive inside the cockpit, we're coming from outside. So normally, we may enter the cockpit through the jet bridge, or sometimes we use the stairs, right? So regardless, we can see basically outside of the aircraft. So first of all, we need to check all the wheel chocks, if there are any wheel chocks in place. And then landing gear doors, check position. If the landing gear doors are okay. And APU area, just check the APU area as well, if there's any maintenance work ongoing or whatever. Then after that, we entered cockpit, and first thing to do is the preliminary cockpit preparation. However, usually we do the security search first, right? So prior to do that, when we arrive, when we just enter the cockpit before we sit down, usually what we do is we do the security search. So normally the captain will perform on his side, especially gear pins and whatever stuff, checking all the compartment and even the waste bin or waste compartment and whatever compartment, everything, the boxes and the rope and so. Same with first officer, we check everything and search if there are any bomb or any hazard risk items or objects. We open here and there and every part of the cockpit. And actually, to be honest, for the emergency equipment checklist is the later part, which we supposed to do prior to we go out for the walk-around check. However, most of the time, we will perform it together with security search to save our time. If both crew agree each other. But based on the FCOM, we're supposed to separate those two checklists or the perform. So we have to perform separately supposedly. So once we enter, we do the security search first and sit down and do the preliminary. And then do the emergency equipment checklist later, just right before we go out. Yeah, but we can manage to just do it together if the both crew agrees. Anyhow, so after that, performing the security search and then emergency equipment check, we just sit down and then do the battery checks and external power. So, before battery check, normally I just do it while I'm standing up, but it's up to you whether you sit down or stand up. So first we check engine master 1, 2, 3, 4. And then engine start selector. Unlike 320, engine start selector is here in the overhead. So check this normal position. Then check landing gear lever, it's down position, and both wiper selector check. Yeah. And after that, batteries check external power. So we have to turn off the batteries first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go here and use this knob to check the battery. Turn every 1 to APU and essential. So it should be at least more than 25 volts. So 27.7, 27.8, 27, 28. So all good. So after that, we need to switch the battery again on. And then normally it's already powered up, so we have to check the electric here, DC. to check the amperes if it's below 60 amperes and decreasing. I'll show you shortly. And at the moment, the external power is available. Usually it's already on, but this time it's not. So there's a sequence for 380. We have to turn it on by the sequence because of some system flow matters. So sequence is 2, 3, 1, 4. Okay, battery should be on. And then we click on electric DC to check the amperes here. It's below 60. All right, and after that, we align the ADIRS. So most of the time when we arrive in the aircraft is under refueling. So if it's under refueling, we need to switch on initially at least 2 ADIRS on, and then we do the time for 20 seconds. And after 20 seconds, we start time again, and then we can we have to time for 40 seconds if the refueling is ongoing. If it's not, then 20 seconds. So most of the time, by the time when we arrive, we are, the refueling is ongoing. So we have to wait for 40 seconds from the time when we arrive, it looks like that. So what we normally do, we turn off this first and then wait for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, we turn it on and then wait for 40 seconds. After 40 seconds, we turn it off and then wait for 20 seconds and then turn it on. However, if you're not doing the refueling, then you can just do it by every 20 seconds. And once this ADIRS alignment is already set, then you can advise your colleague or the captain that power up is done or completed. Then usually I sit down after this, and next item is cockpit lights. But although it's not part of checklist, what I normally do and recommend for you guys to do is first thing to do, you guys adjust your set armrest here. Armrest and then the footrest. Not the footrest, I mean the rudder. Yeah, and after that, you guys have to adjust your lights. So, especially this NDS, sometimes we forget to rotate the outer one, which is related to weather radar or terrain. So, you have to do that. And then adjust your lights here, here, and even the lights here. Alright, so after that, we check the OIS. Make sure the laptop is turned on. Usually there are some lights somewhere here and there, so you can see the 2 lights on. But for the simulator, OIT is not working at the moment, so it's not showing any power there. I don't know here. They have no. Yeah, so you must check. There are 2 lights. If it's a 2 green lights, that means it's already charged. If it's a 1 green, 1 amber, it means it's charging. But if you only see 1 green light, that means the laptop is not yet turned on. So you must turn it on, otherwise you cannot use this OIT. So just please don't forget that. And then KCCU CCD keyboard switch, make sure normally it's already on, but if it's not like this, we can turn it on. And OIS application starts. So OIT here, although it's not working, yeah, it looks like something like this. At least this side is working. Alright, so we need to switch on OIT side switch. So we have this one for upper side for the NSS and downside for the flight off. So we turn on both sides and then we initialize this. You can have a separate training from the company provided the material or the program. And we have to log in as a pilot and the OIT side log in as pilot. So both sides, NSS side, the flight operation side, both have to be done with sign in. Okay, and then for the captain, actually, by this time, he has additional stuff. So he has to check the aircraft status, which is this page. We need to check it. And then you need to request the company flight plan. So normally we request it from here. Request. So company flight plan received waiting for insertion. So waiting for insertion. So we click again and insert it. Then the company plan that we already filed, it's going to be received here, including your flight plan, everything. Normally in line flying, this is done by dispatcher, and they will send it to us, and captain will initiate it here. And after that, we log in as pilot, check the aircraft status, and yeah, the request done. And after that, we check the flight number, call sign there. Same with here. We need to check, or sometimes we need to click the synchronize, so it will be synchronized already. Okay. Yeah, but it's not functioning anyhow. Yeah. And then we also check, so status page, we go to status page and check if it's updated. We can cross check with our OFP here. There's a database, so we can cross check it there. And then we open the nav chart, start the nav chart, and then we can also cross check nav chart there, and followed by open some library. Yeah, and then yeah, we have to check the aircraft, the registration, MSN, so and so. And after that, captain will open the OIT and check and insert the init data and send it to flight ops. And flight operation status page, check the OIS version and ERM number. So we can check it here in OIT, compare with your OFP. Then once you are checked with the database here in OIT, it's actually captain's duty. Captain will check the OANS data. So there's a data here. So they will check if the data is active database is valid or not. And after that, we proceed to acceptance. So for acceptance, what we do, it's captain will press the recall button, which is here. It's not functioning here again, but anyway, he will, oh wait, what is this? How do I remove this? Anyhow, so when you click the recall button, you will see there whether you have any problem or not. So check the system. And after that, we clear or cancel if any. And then after that, we check the logbook. Normally we have a hard copy of the paper logbook. And once it's done, check MEL, CDL items. And after that, we check the operational differences from OIT library. For us, we have a quick reference menu here, so you can check easily check what are the differences. Especially for our company, we have engine alliances and Rolls-Royce engines. So they have two different characteristics and then some differences. So we discuss what are the difference. And then also OEB, if there's any OEB, we discuss as well. And if there's MEL, first we check the MEL AppCom here through the OIT. And after that, once we are happy with the aircraft status, we accept the aircraft. And once aircraft is accepted, I start APU, but prior to starting APU, I always memorize it by the Q. So acceptance is A, so next should be APU. So prior to starting the APU, the first brochure before we start APU, it's RMP1 and 2. So I have to set as a CM2 or first officer set both RMP1 and 2 and do the fire test for the APU prior to starting the APU. So press and then check all the lights, including your warning lights here and also your engine master levers. And after that, start APU. However, company standard, it's 20 minutes prior to pushback or uplock, we start APU. So let's say it's only 20 minutes to go. Then we are starting. But sometime if the cabin is too warm or hot, and we consider for a passenger to, we start APU earlier in advance for the air conditioning. So start, Okay. And when AP is available, air condition panel is set and external push button as required. But to maximize or to optimize the energy, normally we leave the external power until the last time, though AP is on. Yeah. And OIS preparation, so preliminary performance determination. So this is time after we start APU, we discuss about TOPA, which is takeoff performance. So we do this takeoff performance things through here in OIS or OIT. So we use the flight operation side and we go to the TOPA computation. So prior to we insert TOPA value, we discuss each other with other crew. So how do we want to go for the TOPA? And today we are expecting runway 30 left via Mike 13 Alpha departure. So would you agree with Mike 13 to be more conservative? What about wind? We have a wind 020, 5 knots, variable between so and so. So would you agree maybe too conservative wind calm or tailwind 5 something? So write it down. And without taxi, what is the weight for today? So we have this zero fuel weight and we have this block fuel. So do you agree? And then we compute it independently, separately, and then we insert it by ourselves without discussing what is the total value of the takeoff weight. After that, yeah, we just compute. And after the computation, it's a PM who will read the result. So if you're ready with the result, go ahead, and then the other crew, the PM will read one by one. Like results for runway 30 left via Mike 13, check, and takeoff weight, blah blah blah, check, performance limiting takeoff, limiting weight, blah blah, check. So and so you can easily find it from the manual and then other material. Anyway, we do the TOPA computation check. And once TOPA is done, then PM has to go out for the walk around. So prior to the walk around, there's a flow, right? So first thing to do, it's, yeah, first we check, I don't know why this import, something is still there. I don't know how to remove it. Anyhow, it's bothering, but I don't know how to remove it. So anyhow, yeah, so what we have to do is ACAM oxygen pressure check. So first we check here oxygen pressure. So normally if it's above like 1300, 1300 each of cabin and cockpit, that's more than enough. Otherwise you have to check again with your limitation for the oxygen from the FCOM. Then we check the hydraulic, check the reservoir, it's within the limit. Then we check engine, we have to check the oil quantity. However, for oil quantity, normally it looks like this. So what we have to do is we go to the overhead panel and then we need to turn on the FADEC manually. In this case, you can check your oil here. So it's a 15-15, so less than 10 hours of flying time, 10 parts of oil, it's more than enough. So turn it off, turn it off. Okay. All right, after that, the oil quantity is checked. Yeah, and then check the flaps. Oh, sorry. So check the flaps position and speed brake lever, and then first the body accumulator pressure, the one on top, and then check parking brake handle if it's on, and then check the brake pressure. So normally here in 380, every time we check the parking brake, first we check the body pressure and then go to the parking brake, and followed by the brake pressure on those one on the lower part. After that, we supposed to check the emergency equipment, which are the life vest, the extinguishers, and then RUP, and we have a PBE and oxygen mask, and we have some X behind, fire sock, and RUP, whatever, flashlights, axis. So that's what we check. But as I mentioned earlier, normally we include it on the part of the security search. Yeah, so after that we check again gear pins. Usually it should be 5 pins on board, so check if it's 5, and after that we go out for exterior check. So we come out and do the exterior check, just follow the AppCom, what to check. Yeah. And then while the PM is doing the walk around, the PF has to start cockpit preparation. So guys, please don't be confused with the CM1, CM2 duty and PF and PM duty. There's a fixed duty for CM1 and CM2 for the initial part. And from here, we need to split again by the PF and PM. So first, we proceed to overhead. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so anyway, please bear with me guys regarding this imported flight plan. I don't know why it's still up there. Anyway, overhead panel says general rule during the scan sequencing we need to check all white lights except for the maintenance panel. It's off, so we have to make sure everything is off. So anyway, recorder, we start from here, just same as any other Airbus. So recorder ground control button, push button, it should be auto anyway. If it's off, we need to turn it auto. And the recorder check on. And captain and purser switch to captain. And then prop window hit the push button auto, unless otherwise it's icing condition. And ELT check its arm. Yeah, it's arm. And then check reset buttons, everything is okay. Exterior lights set. NAP logo lights, we turn it auto during night flight only. So NAP light should be on. And if the refueling is done, of course we turn on the seatbelt signs on once the refueling is done. But prior to turn it on, we need to check the fuel page if it's correct. Sign panel set, engine start selector should be normal. Air condition panel check if it's set. And make sure it's a purser select so that purser can choose the temperature. And trim tank, fit tank switch, and yeah, auto. So regardless of the refueling is ongoing or not, we turn auto for every fuel tank, fuel pumps. Okay, and then all lights on maintenance panel should be off. So supposedly there's no other lights here. So we're supposed to turn it off. This light normally it's on when the maintenance guys, they are working on some stuff here with their laptop. This is the laptop, so whenever they are using this laptop, then that should be on. Okay, then after that, cargo air condition check. Sometimes we change the temperature, otherwise we put it the lowest part. But there's some note mentioning which temperature for compartment, then we adjust that. And after that, RMP3 check, on set, and CBR test, push button press. So we just do it once, one short click, click, then that's it. And after that, reset button, right side, check here. Okay, then after that, the overhead part is done. Then we do the center instrument panel. So we start from this switching selectors. Everything should be normal. And we check the ISIS, both of them. Then landing gravity switch off, this one. It's here. Yeah, so we don't really have to open it. And clock check and set. Anti-skid switch on. Then we go down to pedestal. So we check the body, brake pressure again. And then check the parking brake handle and brake pressure check. Okay. If the brakes are hot and chocks are in place, then we have to check parking brake is off. After that, thrust lever idle, and thrust reversers stowed, this one. Engine master check 1, 2, 3, 4, and cockpit door switch normal. So this one should be normal. Then MFD, we can start to set MFD. So first of all, we proceed to ATC and we check the message record and check all message if there's any previous message, such thing as like this. In this case, we need to erase it. It's very first part of setting the MFD. So erase it. And then after that, check the ADS is ARM. So we go to connect, check if it's ARM here. It's off, but it's supposedly indicating ARM. From then, we can check the transponder surveillance, check transponder if it's a standby. After that, we start the FMS preparation. So first, usually we go to init and check the aircraft status. Check the idle power and performance if there's any adjustment, and active database, and then database, yeah. After that, get back here and check alternate. Normally alternate is blank, so we need to insert it. And check other data here. And we check the win and request company win if there's no win updates. Then we click on the route summary, and you can easily cross-check all the waypoints and routes. Then go to IRS, check if it's online, and then return a departure. We'll use runway 30 left today with what was the departure? Navix departure. Here you go. So runway 30 left, Navix 3 Foxtrot departure, insert. And if you click destination, you can just go straight to destination or the arrival. So for the runway, rather than clicking the runway here, you can go straight to which ILS approach. Today I'll take ILS, initially approach runway 30 right, via star, Ordic, anything Ordic. Okay, then we'll just put none. Insert. And for this discontinuity, maybe I'll just erase it for the shorter flight. Yeah, there you go. So flight plan is done, and usually we insert the fixed info for the engine approach here. So here, OMDB 30 left, and then the radial 299. So it will show us the straight out fixed info, which is our engine out standard. Okay, and then navigate, check if any hardin is required, and check the fuel load. So earlier I've seen the fuel load from the load sheet. So zero fuel weight today it's 334.9, and then fuel 19.9. Okay. Really? Okay, so that's it. And we insert the passenger here and all the value from the OFP, so we insert it here. Okay, and then performance. We computed our performance earlier on Topaz, so based on that we insert whatever value you get from there. So for today I'll just write down whatever it is. Okay, at the moment we just insert up to this stage and returned. Yeah, and then we go to the performance. When we go to the performance, if it's engine alliance during the climb, we need to set the rated climb 1 to 3. We have to choose either between 1 to 3. Depends on the weight requirement. For the Rolls-Royce, we don't have to do that. And then secondary, usually we go to secondary and insert returning back to the origin. Yeah. And just make sure that when you insert the secondary for returning back, we usually insert acceleration, engine acceleration for go-around, same as our published go-around altitude, which is like this. We don't do this on the primary flight plan. We don't do this, but we do it on secondary that way. Also for approach and landing later. Okay, so MFD setting is done. FMS preparation. Then wait for the other crew to come back, and then other crew will cross-check the FMS. We call it box. So please check the box and check. And once both crew agree with the FMS, then we do the glare shield part. So first loudspeaker check, adjust the volume, and then we set the QNH. And once QNH is set, we read the PFD altitude normally. So indicating 140 feet. And also the other side. And set the FIS. Normally taxi 4 corner. And TREF, and then first clear altitude, it's 4,000. Yeah, so we set it that way. And yeah, cross check. And after that, we do the oxygen mask check. So we contact the ground first, the ground cockpit, the oxygen test, and if there's none of them there, or they said it's okay to do the oxygen mask test, and we do the oxygen test. So once the oxygen test is done, we do the PFD ND check. So usually what we do is, yeah, so like runway 30 left and Navix 3 Foxtrot departure, and speed 140, blue 15 magenta climb, nav 1 FT2, 4,000 blue, and attitude okay, VS indicating 0, QNH 1313, heading is 2, 07, and flaps indicating 0, and heading cross-check with the NSD like that. Okay, after that we check the fuel on board. If it's okay, then the fuel is completed, and make sure it's a balance and everything okay. Then we turn on the seatbelt sign, which we did earlier. After that, we do the departure briefing, but normally we request the ATC clearance first by this time, just to make sure that the SID inserted it's correct. And after we get the ATC, then we do the departure briefing, and followed by the cockpit preparation checklist, which we can find here on the checklist. So we perform the cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers remove, fuel quantity open, and then we need to say like 19,900 and balance. Check. Powder ref, QNH 1013 set. Then checklist completed. Okay, and then by this time we supposed to received our final load sheet. So once we receive final load sheet, we insert it again here. We update the fuel and load information, and then we also update our THS for takeoff. Usually our target is 39.5, but sometimes it varies. And make sure your thrust reduction acceleration inserted correctly. And same with your transition. Normally for Dubai it's like 1360 or something like that. Yeah, so that's it. And once final load sheet is done, then we do the load sheet final load sheet confirmation. So usually the PF turns on his performance. Let's say I'm the PM. Let's say I'm the PM this time. So and then PM prepare the fuel and load sheet, and then we turn on the fuel page in the middle. And here, usually normally it's a PF, set the load sheet, final load sheet here, and then the PM set the TOPA here, the performance, takeoff performance. Okay. All right, and then after that, we do the final load sheet confirmation. So PM will read from here to here, while the PF will looking at the final load sheet here, and they will cross check. So sequence is like this. Zero fuel weight 334.9, check. Zero fuel weight is 35.9, check. Takeoff weight 353.3, and then checking at the TOPA what is performance limiting. So performance limiting takeoff is blah blah. Let's say 354.5, check. And then landing weight 345.3, check. So PF is cross-checking with this final load sheet. And after that, the trim tank indicating 0. Normally there's something, but today it's a short flight. So 0, check. And gross weight CG 35.5. And THS, 35.5, check. And within the limit, and you have to make sure to check on the load sheet if it's within the limit range for THS. The final load sheet is completed. After that, you guys have to proceed to TOPA again, both sides, and then cross-check with the avionic and make sure there's no issue with the cross-checking the avionics, and then confirm and verify your runway and engine out acceleration from the TOPA and here between two of this. Yeah, and then after that, captain will send again the load sheet confirmation to the operation team, and then yeah, that's it. And by this time, maybe it's gonna be more or less 10 minutes before departure. And everything is settled, right? And then the captain will make the welcome announcement to the passengers once they are all on board. Yeah, I think this is enough for today. At least this is most tricky and complicated part of the training, especially for the new guys, because it's really difficult to setting up the Airbus 380. But once you are getting used to it, it's pretty much easy. So everyone starts saying, even the experienced pilot, that it's really easy to fly Airbus, any Airbus, and it's even including the 380. However, it's very difficult for this machine to start moving. So even in real life, airline life, flying, it will take you almost 1 hour to prepare these stuffs. So it's all about like how, yeah, not just fast, but how proactively or practically, or yeah, how fast you can memorize this by your heart correctly and perform promptly. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed my video today, and then would be grateful if it could be even small help for you guys. Most probably next time, if I have more time and if I feel it's needed, then I'll come back again with another tutorial video. But I think this is most important and most difficult part of the training. So today I just forced myself to prepare this video. Hope you guys enjoy. the rest of your training and flying together with us. Good luck to your training. Bye bye.